So currently I'm up $62,000. This is a screenshot from my current trades right now that I post here in my free Telegram channel. There's a link in the description if you want to join this and follow my trades for free. And even though I'm up 62,000 right now, I'm down $88,000. I guess almost $90,000 in the week if you count swaps and commissions. It's been a week where almost nothing's worked out. And as a matter of fact, the only thing that resulted in a tiny minuscule profit was a break-even trade on NZDUSD getting stopped out before it went into more profit. There's so much to get into it. I don't have time for making jokes right now, so we're just going to get straight into it here on my channel. So let's go. So one of the first trades I took earlier this week was AUD CAD, and what really sucks about AUD CAD is you'll notice that on that screenshot I was in sells. So where was I in sells at? If you look right here, it's 0.9209, so roughly right there, 0.9209. So where's it at? Right about here. So right about this region right here, I'm going to draw a line. So it's right in here. Why did I sell? I sold because price was at a very clear daily, weekly resistance zone. That's it. All I do is I buy and sell at very obvious support resistance zones on the daily, 4-hour, weekly charts. That's it. The price gets to support, I buy. The price gets to a resistance, I sell. If you're in my free Telegram channel, again, there's a link in the description. It's in the pinned comment. Just follow all this shit in there for free. I've been running it for free for 7 years. You'll see there in the free Telegram channel, if you're in there, that all I do is I just use simple support resistance zones. It's not complicated. I don't have any magical, insane strategy. I just place big bets on high conviction trades that I think make sense to me personally, and then I manage them dynamically after I enter them. So I sold here at resistance. Now what happened yesterday is after this started going sideways for a couple days, we started making what looked like higher lows and a bunch of little bullish wicks. I thought price was going to probably be breaking above this zone, so I made the decision yesterday to close. I closed right here, right there at that high. And there at that high, I closed, and immediately after I closed, it ended up going a little bit further, but then it pulled back, and now it would be sitting in a profit. This would probably be sitting right now in maybe like a $40,000 to $50,000 profit had I held. Now, in trading, there's always going to be coulda, shoulda, woulda. There are plenty of times where I will close a trade and I take a small loss, and then it ends up going all the way to where the stop loss would have been, and I end up losing it. There's also trades like this one where I close early in loss or break even, ends up going to the profit target. That's a part of trading. You can't 100% predict things every single time. Anyone who thinks that you can is a complete idiot. Please don't listen to them. You can't predict it in trading. You can only make the best decision based on the context, based on your experience, and based on what the risk structure is. Now, let's look at NZDUSD. NZDUSD is kind of my saving grace for this week. You'll see the reason real easily why I chose to sell right here. This was it was a support zone here, broke back below, found resistance twice, broke above, found support again here, 1, 2, 3 weeks in a row, then broke below and came back to retest. On the retest, I simply entered a short position. I entered a short position right here at the zone whenever it got there. And I'm just in that short position, the stop loss above the zone and a target below. If you look at my actual trade here on NZDUSD, I'll show you my position here. Let's go and find it, post everything in here. This was USDJPY. I'm going to talk about that here in just a second. And let's look at NZDUSD. So where the hell is NZDUSD? Here we go. Shared it earlier this morning. I share so much in here every day in the free Telegram channel. That's why people love it. That's why I've been having people follow this channel for like 7 years. On the weekly chart, you can see there's my entry there, my layers of sell positions. I'm risking currently like $75,000 on this right now. And what happens if it goes all the way here to the profit target, since I've since dragged this even further down. So I'll make probably over $100,000 on this if it works out. And if I lose, I'll lose maybe like 75,000. You can see I just sold here at this little support resistance zone, right? It's a very simple trade. There's barely any analysis that I have to do. Most of my time is spent just waiting. I just sit there and wait. And so I waited on NZDUSD, it's set up, I entered a sell, and now I've just been waiting for like the past week for it to work out. So what we have right here, next to NZDUSD, that's the current trade that's in profit. We also have a trade that I just closed. I just got out of this. Now, I sold USDJPY here at this zone because it was at a very obvious clear resistance zone. I had a stop loss past the zone, which was above it. And if you look at where I put the stop loss at, it was just above where current market price is at. Then I had a target below for a 1-to-1 risk-reward ratio. Now, I might still be looking to get back into this, right? Because we might have a repeat of AUD CAD. It might just simply turn over and go back down. But I've also got something juicy, something interesting that I did here. I'll show you. So I chose to close this just before it got to the stop loss. I called a closure when it was right here. Where's it at? Here we go. Here we go. Okay, call to closure right here, right? So in this case, I entered my original sell position. I added a small position to it, which added about 10K of risk. And then I elected to close it right before it got here to stop loss because it's invalidated. Trade is past the zone. I don't think it's going to work out. So better decision is just to close it and just wait. You can always re-enter it, but we don't want to be holding on to losing trades for too long. I entered right here. And you can see I just entered because price came into this really major clear resistance zone. I mean, these zones are so obvious. Like, you should be able to go to a chart, right? We should be able to take everything off the chart and instantly, like within just a moment, be able to tell where the clearest zone is on the chart. Okay, that's the clearest zone for resistance right there. Here's a zone down here, which you see where I have an alert. That's a super clear, obvious zone for support. These kinds of trades are so easy because as long as you just wait, as long as you're patient, price gets into the zone, all you have to do is buy at support and sell at resistance. Put your stop loss just past the zone, put your target above the zone. It's not going to work out every time. As a matter of fact, these trades for me, I only have about a 60% win rate. Some weeks I have a 100% win rate. Other weeks, like this week, I have like whatever it is, a 10% win rate. It all baskets out to be just over 50%. And on top of that, I make more on average when I win a trade versus what I lose on average when I lose a trade. I get out of losses early, halfway to the stop, a little bit before the stop loss, sometimes at break even, sometimes in a small profit. And then when I have winners, I hold them just a little bit longer. That's the only reason I'm profitable. And since I'm risking $20, $30, $40, $50,000 per trade, depending on the context and depending on the setup, that just means that whenever I do win, the wins are huge. They're just ridiculous, right? Better to take one or two trades a week that you're really confident about and risk $1,000 each on them than to take a bunch of stupid trades that are super complicated in their logic and reasoning. You're not doing the same consistent thing. It's not predictable. It's not sustainable. And then you're risking $100 on each of those trades trying to go for like a 1-to-5 risk reward ratio. That's the kind of shit that you'll get tired of real quick, and it doesn't even work. It's not consistent. You're not able to duplicate it long term. I wait for a couple setups a week, literally 1, 2, 3, maybe sometimes 4 or 5 setups per week. And then all I do is I take those setups and they either work or they don't. So that's with NZDUSD. I've sold here at this resistance zone. USDJPY, I sold here at this resistance zone and it broke above and it's a loss. So I currently have one trade currently open sitting in profit and this trade at a loss. Let's talk about CAD-JPY. I have sold CAD-JPY and I know this analysis is very, very complicated. And this is very, very difficult for you to understand. It's super, super complicated. Believe me, it took me a long time to understand this as well. Sometimes the simpler it is, the more complicated it is. I'm just kidding. That's such a stupid thing to say. It's simple. I sold here at resistance. It's on the weekly chart. Prices come up here into this region where it's bounced twice as resistance right here, and I've just simply sold again. Another reason that I like using very small risk to reward ratios, literally like 1-to-1 risk reward ratios, is because it is so much easier to get your profit targets hit. So right here, you'll see that that here for CAD-JPY, what I've done is I've entered a trade here. I have my stop loss just above the zone and my target just below. And what that means is that if price just has a move just like this off the zone, right, just the tiniest move off the zone, I'll have a profit target hit and I'll be out of this trade in profit. The trade looks something like this, right? There's a stop above the zone. There's a profit target at a 1-to-1 risk reward ratio. I'm not doing trades like this where the stop is just above the zone and my target's way down here. And I'm looking to go for like a 1-to-4, 1-to-5, 1-to-6 risk to reward ratio, right? The win rate on those kinds of trades is very low. And then all the time you'll get pinned out just on these little stupid spikes and they come back and end up turning over, but without you. I find it better, a way better trading approach. Just risk a higher dollar amount, but with a reasonable risk reward, something that's going to actually get hit like very often, right? A stop loss is there just to save you in case your trading idea becomes invalidated. You have to have kind of a degree of experience to be able to look at the chart and say, look, I think it's going to go from here to here, and then I'm going to participate in that trading idea with an entry that's optimal, a risk structure that makes sense, and a stop loss in an appropriate location, so that if you're wrong, the stop loss is there as kind of an emergency, but you can make the decision to manually close the trade if it looks like it's not going to work out based on the price action. Sometimes you'll be right, sometimes you won't. As long as you make a little more than you lose, that's all that matters. So for this right here, I'm short on CAD-JPY, I'm selling at resistance. Now, I'm also looking to take a trade here on USD CAD. If price comes deeper into this zone, I'm going to be looking to sell right there at that alert. We're going to see if that sets up. AUD CAD, I will painfully watch as she continues into what should have been a $50,000 to $60,000 profit. GBP CAD, I already sold. I already made my profit on this. This was a nice profit last week. It was like $40,000 or something. GBP JPY, nothing. GBP NZD, nothing. Euro GBP, I made a nice profit on this as it went down, but nothing now. Euro AUD, waiting on this to come down here to the lows to potentially buy. Euro JPY nothing, AUD JPY nothing, AUD USD nothing, Euro USD nothing, GBP AUD nothing, CHF JPY nothing, NZD JPY nothing, Euro Canadian dollar nothing, GBP USD nothing, and USD CHF I got nothing. As far as crypto goes, I have not done anything to my positions. I added a little bit of Solana, and that's literally the only thing. Aside from adding a little bit of Solana, I have done nothing to my positions. I still remain in the same positions. We're getting some nice dips here on crypto, just waiting on things to kind of develop a little bit more. I got some places in mind where I'll be looking to add. Bitcoin just made a new all-time high, like literally yesterday. We went past $126,000. That is amazing. Crypto market's looking really, 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 really good. And so far, I mean, this trade here on NZD USD looks like it's going into more profit. That's good. CAD JPY looks like it's starting to fall from this zone based on my current risk threshold and current tolerance and everything. I've had a win streak where I've made $170,000, and that's just in Forex trading past month. And then this week, I'm currently down $90,000. So it kind of sucks, you know, giving back some profits. But then again, like not every week, not every day, not every month is going to be winning. You have to be able to take the losing streaks in stride. You have to be able to not be a little bitch and whine and complain whenever things aren't going your way. Because if you're not, the only alternative is just to be an emotionally neurotic person who just can't handle the reality of trading. And the reality of trading is that, yes, you're going to have losing streaks. Okay, it's not that big of a deal. You're going to win some, you're going to lose some. It is what it is. It's not that big of a deal. You have to be able to keep doing it and just keep going, keep taking trades, and everything always works out, provided you have a trading approach that makes it a little bit more than it loses long term. Series of wins in a row are all nice and pretty. None of us complain about that. But the moment we get series of losses in a row, all of a sudden it's like a bad thing. It's just random distribution of wins and losses. There's nothing you can do to prevent it. So with that being said, that's my analysis for this week. This is just so insane. I had to get this video out and share it with you guys today. I'm looking at a lot of these setups. I'm going to keep them on my radar, and we will see what ends up happening as this week continues. I'll see you guys in tomorrow's video. Cheers.